Okay, our review of Lower Decks in just a second. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and in our first episode of Lower Decks, we have Second Contact. Now, if you've seen the previews to this show, many of the previews came from this particular episode, so there'll be some things that might not be as funny because you've seen them 3 or 4 times before, trying to parse what you could see about it. For instance, the part where it opens up with a captain's log reading that's actually being done by Ensign Boimler, who is one of the most prominent characters in this show. Boimler is an ensign who seeks command one day and believes that everything that he can do in the most official way possible and obeying the regulations to the letter is just the way that he thinks will get him promoted to a command position. He's in the command division, as is the other main character, Ensign Mariner. Ensign Mariner has been on several ships, has been to many planets, has a lot of experience, evidently has had higher rank, but has been busted down to ensign on several occasions, and seems to like it where she is, or at least that's what she wants everyone to think. She is unorthodox. She is one to kind of play around when everyone else is so straight and upright. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic between her and Boimler. So let's talk about some of the things that we did see. As they open up, a shuttlecraft is going into the shuttle bay of the Cerritos. The Cerritos is named after a suburb, a small city outside of Los Angeles, just one of these cities that no one ever talks about. And so it is kind of an inside joke, really, that the ship would be called that to indicate a ship that is not one of the more prominent in Starfleet. And Second Contact being kind of a play on First Contact. When you first encounter an alien world and reveal yourself as an extraterrestrial, this is First Contact. And so Second Contact is when they go in and make sure the planet is spelled right and take care of all the paperwork, so they say. Now, like the old Star Trek The Next Generation episode, there is an A and B story, except that they're flipped. The A story is the big one where the monster comes to get them, and the B story is usually of life on the ship. And so what they're showing you in major part is life on the ship with an occasional foray into what would have been the major plot had this been a serious show. Of course, it's a comedy, and they play this relationship of Boimler and Mariner to the point to where she is just completely loose and he's completely uptight, and they have good chemistry. The actors, I'm told, do, and certainly the characters do. There are a few things that I found in here that are kind of interesting. When our first time on the ship character, whose name is Tendi, she belongs to the medical division, and she is an Orion, so she's green. She comes off of the shuttlecraft, and right behind her is a Menthar used in Next Generation. We also see the Batla, the Klingon weapon, as they showed in the previews, as well as Romulan whiskey, which has not been mentioned before, but it's blue like Romulan ale and just as illegal. They mention a sonic shower, which this is something that was only mentioned once in Star Trek The Motion Picture, where Ilea is found in a sonic shower, the robotic Ilea, who's the probe that is sent to be V'ger's eyes and ears on the Enterprise. And since then, they've always shown them having bathrooms that have running water and things like that. But they bring back this idea of sonic shower during this, just kind of a way of bringing you back to previous Star Trek episodes. Now, there are two other main characters. There is Rutherford, who just weeks ago in the story received a cybernetic implant on Vulcan. And his problem with it is that the implant tries to suppress his emotions, as the Vulcans do. And so there's been some trouble with that, with him being able to be himself when the cybernetic part of it tries to serious him up. It's kind of a funny little thing there. And it seems that he's kind of interested in Ensign Tendi, who, upon her first trip to the sick bay, is told by the doctor to hold this patient's heart. And this is also in the preview. We have a brief bit of information about the captain that's revealed in the episode. The weapons officer is a Bajoran. There is a first officer and apparently a second officer who are part of the away team for down there. They showed, by the way, on the surface of the planet they went to, pattern enhancers. These were used in a couple of situations during the Next Generation. Nothing is said about it here, but in the long shot you see pattern enhancers, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, of course, more prominently was the Dune Buggy that they used in Nemesis, this cartooned and used as part of the show. So, also the mention of Chadish, which is a Klingon word that means kind of a second in a duel, squire, if you will. So, a kind of an interesting little thing, a bunch of little Easter eggs that are in this episode, and the jokes come so fast that I didn't find myself laughing at a whole lot of them. Some because I've seen them before, some because they just went by so fast. You probably would have to view this 5 or 6 times before you caught all the jokes, because they are pretty rapid fire. They speak quickly and they get a lot of material into a 30-minute episode. There was enough time in there to do a fully developed episode. I like the way the cartooning went. The ship looks almost like the models in the live action shows. They add a little more color into space, and the transporter effect is a little more cartoonish than we've seen before, but they generally treat Starfleet with a certain amount of respect. It's just that our main character, Mariner, is just a little bit off the beaten path and has suffered for this as a result. Although you'd never know it to see what she's like. I mean, think about Hawkeye in MASH. Just kind of not really someone who doesn't know what they're doing, because she knows all the regulations, she knows what she should be doing, and just doesn't do it. And in the end, ends up saving the day. So there's where you have it, and there's a lot of entertainment to be had in this particular show. So I recommend the series so far. I'm told that from some things that I've read in the first 4 shows or so, define the characters a little bit better, and as we get used to being aboard the Cerritos, it sounds like it'll be a lot of fun, and something that can pass the time away until more live action shows come our way. So we will talk about the next episode in about a week, but in the meantime, remember to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you know when the next video is coming your way. So until next time, don't go far.